Happy Friday, folks, and welcome into another edition of On the Record presented by CalledIt. Danny Burke, your host here, and happy as always to be with you as we talk about some of the craziest, most compelling markets across the prediction platforms today. Man, oh man, not only are we talking soccer, we've got World Cup action today and through the weekend. But we're also going to step out of the box a little bit here. We got a apparently big wedding that, one of our guests here apparently has the exclusive invite to. Dane Martinez out there right on the ground, boots on the ground. We know he's going to be attending it. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Of course there's going to be trading markets on it. So we're going to pick his and Stephanie Otis, who's rejoining us again. Both of their brains about that wedding. And believe it or not, you can discuss who's going to be the bridesmaids, who's going to be the groomsmen. So, yes, you can make some U.S. dollars on those markets. You can also make it on the hot dog eating contest. We are getting close to the 4th of July, so that is one of the most exciting events of the year. Yes, it is, believe it or not, the hot dog eating contest. The GOAT, Joey Chestnut, of course, looking to break his own record of 76 hot dogs and buns. Can he do it? Will he win again? And how's the women's competition stacking up? Because there's dominance there as well. So plenty to talk about on this Friday. And also, folks, how could we not discuss what transpired yesterday? Our challenge, The Run, looking to turn 250 into a million. Somehow, Subway survives. Cristiano Ronaldo with the PK to tie it up. Croatia then takes the lead again. And then, oh my goodness, just back and forth with VAR and offsides. And it was just utter mayhem. Portugal takes the lead in stoppage time. Croatia rebuttals, and then it was called off because of the offside. So my, oh my, somehow, some way, again, it's just, I don't even know how else to describe it. It was ridiculous. But the Run now moves on to trade number 5. As you can see in the corner, the pot is up to $3,200 because Portugal got the win in regulation for us yesterday, trading at 55%. And now all of that $3,200 will be put on the line for today's call, which again, you can subscribe to at www.calledit.media to get a hold of that for absolutely free, and you can make your own opinion known to see how you stack up amongst the community. Steph Odie with us. Steph, let's bring her in. Welcome back to the show. I know you were with us yesterday, so you were just like me sweating out Portugal in regulation because Cormac liked them, you liked them. We were all on that side, and man, what a game. How about it?
Yeah, it was definitely exciting. It went as I thought. I thought it was going to be Portugal to get 2, but I didn't know if Croatia was going to get 1 or none. So they did make me sweat it out a little bit. They kept it exciting, so that's what we want, an exciting game. But we did sweat it a bit. They kept it pretty close. They challenged them good.
That they did. And our other guest here, maybe not as happy with the result just from a personal standpoint because, well, he had some coin invested on a little bit of extra time to be played. But hey, Dane, at least we got some good content for the Run today, and we could stake your thoughts on that with today's Daily Call.
No, absolutely. I'm all about backing the Run. What I will say is I think these soccer players need to go shaved head like me, because if the Croatian defender did not have the nice salad on top like you do, I do not know if that touch would have happened, if the offsides would have been called, and we could have gone to extra time. But I'm excited to be back, Danny. I see that we are up to 4 or 5 on the Run. Let's keep on flipping it over today.
No question about it, my friend. Cannot wait. And without further ado, we might as well jump into it with today's Daily Call. Is actually not going to be on a match centered around today's action, but in a couple days on Sunday, Brazil and Norway. I mean, this is going to be a tremendous game. Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Brazil and Norway here. You can see in the corner, regulation time. Both teams to score is where the Daily Call is revolving around. But just for the outright win here, Brazil trading at 65% to advance, Norway at 35%. But again, both teams to score. Currently, American odds minus 161 at about 59%. The Daily Call in trade number 5 of the Run is on both teams to score. The yes traded at 59% is what the team at CalledIt gave out. Currently, again, right around there, 59% to 60%. Either way, still some value to be had in the eyes of the crew at CalledIt, because they believe the true conviction on both teams to score with Brazil and Norway is actually 62%. So, Dane, when you see this Daily Call, again, we got to wait a couple days, so we'll be anticipating a good one. But do you believe we will see both teams getting the ball in the net?
Yeah, well, first things first, I hope that I'm not a jinx here on the record, because in our longest run that we've had so far, which I think was 7, I was on the show when we ultimately lost the run. I believe it was the Czechia victory that we needed on that one. So hopefully we can bounce back. And yes, I agree with the call. I think both of these teams will in fact score. I start by looking at Norway. Okay, Norway has scored 10 goals in their 4 games. Erling Haaland by himself, I think, has scored in something like the last 16 or 17 matches for Norway. So I do think that their offensive firepower will come to play. And then, to be honest, I also look at Norway for Brazil to score, because while Norway has scored 10 goals in the 4 games so far in this World Cup, they have also allowed 8. They get caught kind of on the comeback a bunch of times, and I think Brazil will be able to do that. Brazil has scored 9 times so far in this World Cup. 2 firepower, dynamic offenses. I do think both of them will put the ball in the net. And Danny, here's what I also got to tell you. I think specifically Haaland and Vinny Jr. are both under the radar in the race still for the Golden Boot. Over at Calci, it is being priced as a 2-person race, with Mbappe at 41% and Messi at 46%. They have only about a 1 or 2 goal difference. So another way to play this match. Yes, I think both teams will score. Yes, I think Haaland and Vinny Jr. can put the ball in the net, but Haaland has 5. Vinny Jr. has 4. And if you like one of these teams, maybe the way to play it is to get Haaland or Vinicius Jr. at like 3-4% to still be live in the Golden Boot race as well. Because if one of these teams get more opportunities, there you see it. Its price is like a 2-person. Messi 46, Mbappe 41, Haaland at only 4, and then I think Vinny Jr. is only at 3. So if you like one of these teams to advance, I think one of these guys is going to get a goal, almost level up with Mbappe and or Messi, and that could be a way to really blow up the bank account here in these prediction markets too.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly a unique way to look at it. Both teams have scored. Dane is in there on the money and offering an alternative market to trade on if you think whichever team wins still has a pretty good chance of it advancing further here in the World Cup. Steph, what do you make of everything that Dane just dished out and the daily call with both teams to score between Brazil and Norway?
It's crazy. We were talking right before we started recording that me and Dane have not been on the show together yet. And it's always fun to see how other handicappers, how their thought process goes with the information that we have and what they seek out. I am exactly everything that you said is basically what I have written down. I liked Haaland to be, that's a better value that you see there. It is funny how you said it. And I promise, guys, we did not discuss our picks before this. So I was surprised to hear, looking at CalledIt's play. Obviously, I agree with that. There's better value elsewhere, but if you look at both individual teams' totals, you have Brazil over a half of a goal. That's at nearly 80%. And then Norway at about 70%. So for both of them to score, that looks like a great value. So you get better getting those combined for both to score. But I think if you look at who's more favored in this one, Brazil, obviously they have more experience. Norway will be able to challenge them, though. I think that both teams, they played in high-scoring games. That also contributes to both of them putting up some goals in this one. The over of 2.5 goals has hit 80% for both teams in their matches, 4 out of the 5 for Brazil, 4 out of 5 for Norway. So that was another one that we had discussed that I do like that one as well. Norway, they have a top 4 scoring team in the tournament. To Dane's point, they had 9 goals. That's about 4 per game. They also had 2.08 XG. So they averaged 10.8 shots per match. And so that means that they can get high quality shots. They're very patient. And then they have conceded 8. They have not had any clean sheets, and they've given up more than 2 goals, 2 or more in their past 3 games. So definitely like Brazil to score in this one. Brazil also has one of the most dangerous and efficient attacks in the World Cup. 9 goals for them, 2.3 goals per game in the World Cup. Brazil, they're an absolute machine right now. They only need about 5 shots to create a guaranteed goal. They take nearly 15 shots a game. So mathematically, they're creating 3 goals worth of premium chances every single match at 3.02 XG. And then you have them conceding only 2 in the World Cup. So that could make it for Norway. I don't think they're going to get their average of 4 up against this Brazil squad, but to Dane's point, my favorite play in this one is Holland over 0.5 goals. That's about 51%. You're getting a lot more value than what CalledIt's taking. Norway, their team total, like I said, is about 70%. He's had 5 goals in this tournament. He's got more than half of Norway's goals in this tournament. He also has seen Brazil's defense. He's seen these defenders. He's dominated them in the English Premier League. He's played against Gabriel 11 times at the club level, scoring 6 goals against him. And then you have Marquinhos, who he's played 3 times, also scoring 3 goals on him. So I think, Brazil is more experienced, but specifically against this Brazil squad and their defense, Holland does have an edge. So for him to score in this one, best play on the board.
Okay. Dane, do you think that's a viable? I know you already hinted at that with the Golden Boot, but yeah, seeing the price exactly, 52%, minus 112 American odds, is that something that you'd be attaching to the both teams to score trade?
Yeah, death, taxes, and Erling Haaland to score for Norway, basically, right? Like I said, he's done it. I think it's something like 17 games in a row for Norway. And then I love what Stephanie said in terms of the experience, the familiarity with some of the center backs for Brazil. You put it all together, and yes, I do think Haaland can put one in the net. Yes, I do think Norway will score. And then the other thing Steph and I both said was the idea that while Norway has been scoring a ton of goals, they've also been giving up a ton of goals, and that's really all you need for Brazil to get on the score sheet as well. I'm back in the call. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, and I looked at what it looked like for Brazil's team. They don't have one clear scorer. They have Kuna and Vinny, who've each had 3 in the World Cup, but for Holland, it's clearly he's the guy that will score for Norway. So if you want to place any team to put up a goal, just go for Holland, because he's like, clearly both teams will score in this one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Come on now, let's get a little Holland love, but let's also get a little both teams to score love, as that is the daily call for the match again on Sunday. We have it at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Norway and Brazil. CalledIt, dished it out at 59%, right around where it's trading now at Kalshi, floating between there and 60%. Either way, they believe the true chances are at 62%, and this is trade number 5 of the run, looking to flip $250 into $1 million across 12 trades. Currently, the pot sits at $3,200 US, so all of that will be put on the line against this both teams to score trade between Norway and Brazil. Pardon me. Should be a thrilling game on Sunday. Cannot wait for that one, guys. But I'm with you. Back in the call, back in goals. Let's see plenty of action in this match on Sunday. Guys, where we're also going to see plenty of action is going to be in Dane's neck of the woods there on the East Coast, taking a little different direction from the soccer world. How about the wedding world that apparently everybody's going to be going nuts for with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? Believe it or not, you can trade on some markets here with this wedding. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, wedding bridesmaids and groomsmen. We'll start with the bridesmaids, though, and then we'll flip to the groomsmen. You know, we were kind of talking about this before the show a little bit, and I was pleasantly surprised with how much you guys actually had some. You were like kind of locked into this. Like, you guys seem ready to go for it. Dane, because you got the home turf right now, I mean, is there anything you've heard or know about this wedding that people could actually make some coin on?
Yeah, I mean, I got to wrap this up because I've got a wedding to go to a little bit later on. And by to go to, maybe I just mean like the watch parties. I mean, about last month, the environment around Madison Square Garden for the Knicks run was absolutely crazy. Closing off streets, right? Motorcades, you know, the bars outside, pandemonium. I think we're going to see the same thing this weekend for the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding. My biggest take is definitely actually on the groomsmen. But when it comes to the bridesmaids, the name that I would check in on is Kylie Kelce. I see her at yes at around 65%. And I think that is, you know, the normal public reaction is like, ooh, which celebrities are going to be there? Which stars are going to be there? Let's not forget, this is a wedding. This is a family environment. I know at Madison Square Garden with thousands of people, whatever. But Kylie Kelce is actually the wife of Jason Kelce. Is Travis Kelce's sister-in-law. And what big wedding does not have the in-law or a sibling as part of the wedding party? I do not see Taylor Swift taking one of these other kind of superstar celebrities over her new sister-in-law. So I like that at 60, 63%, whatever it's like, sister-in-law Kylie Kelsey, wife of Jason Kelsey, to be one of the bridesmaids.
Steph, what do you think?
You know, it's funny because now we got to get the girl to talk of this.
Yeah,
I would say in the weddings I've been in or I've gone to, I actually don't see the sister-in-law as a bridesmaid all the time. I don't. It's about 50%. I only have one brother. I was a bridesmaid, and I actually have two sisters. So my sister-in-law had three sister-in-laws that she was bringing in, and all three of us were bridesmaids. Taylor Swift's got her girl gang, and there's like some banter of her and Blake Lively and whether she's even invited. You can look at just how, you know, the leaked photos of her and her Rhode Island, or was it Vermont? I think it was Rhode Island, her home where they think they had the Bachelorette there. Massive amounts of people. And she's like kind of known for her girl gang. So she probably has a lot of bridesmaids lined up. When it's in that situation, it's a lot harder to have the groom's family in the bridal party because a lot of the time, especially on my brother's end, after I was maid of honor for both my sisters, and then I was a bridesmaid for my brother's wedding for his wife. It really depends on how many bridesmaids they already have. My sister, she didn't marry into a family. My oldest sister did not marry into a family that did not have a sister-in-law. But my second sister, she did have, she married into a family that had two sisters. They were not bridesmaids. So it is, I think it's about it's about a 50-50 on whether or not. So I think if you're getting it at 65%, I actually would go against it. I think the no has the more value because of her girl gang and the numbers that she has there. And for for Kylie, she's also got like kids. A lot of times when you're doing a wedding, because we also know Jason will absolutely be up there. Sometimes it's like better off to have you with your kids during the wedding, or maybe she's like that she has them as flower girls. But I also think, so to your point, I would probably go on the opposite of that one for Kylie, just because if it's a 50% chance, just based off of what I've seen, you better go for the smaller number. But I also, and her large number of like girlfriends. But I also think, I haven't seen an actual play for this one, but I think it kind of squashes any play, is that it could be highly likely that they're already married. And I was actually just with both of them in Nashville, just like within the past week, for Tight End University. And granted that last year we were like in the private, more like exclusive places when it's just the tight ends and their wives and girlfriends. Taylor was around that, and she actually wasn't supposed to perform. Chase Rice, he's a buddy. He lent Taylor his guitar just to go up and perform. That was like not planned. This time, Tight End University was a bit more planned. And for all the wives and girlfriends, Kittle's wife, Claire, she does a really good job of planning all these wives and girlfriends events. Taylor did not participate in those. Granted, it is a busy week leading up to these big events. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a very small, intimate, like family only elope, and then a wedding celebration after. My cousin actually did that in Dallas. He eloped. They were traveling and they eloped there, and then they had like a bigger reception celebration. That makes a lot more sense for Madison Square Garden also, just having them celebrate that way. So I kind of lean towards them probably already eloping. Now, when I was with Taylor and all of them, I didn't see a ring or anything. I think they might have kept that quiet, but she wasn't around as much for like the after parties or like even the like exclusive events where, she's not public facing. She wasn't really around a lot this year. So I don't know if that's telling her or not. I know George, he did an interview and he kind of, he probably, the NFL side of this relationship doesn't really know the magnitude of what these Swifties dive into. I'm not like, I love her music, but I'm not like diving into the lore of like her like Easter eggs and stuff like that. But I did write down some of the Easter eggs for those of you listening. I don't know if this is the right audience for that, but want to bet on if you want to play this wedding, then here's some Easter eggs you might want to play into, because Taylor does drop some Easter eggs a lot of the time. So she was at the Toy Story 5 premiere. People were looking at the dress she wore. She had two massive knots on her shoulders, which tie the knots. They think that maybe she was telling fans like, oh, it already happened. And then she also had the garden dress where there was like florals, and she wore that to the premiere. It was heavy with all these embellishments. Fans said that That was a direct nod to Madison Square Garden. That signals that she'll be celebrating there. And then the numerology. She loves the number 13. So the master theorists, they have pointed out that adding the digits of the rumored secret date, June 6, 6 plus 6, 2026, 6 plus 6 is 2026, plus 2 equals 2038, 2 plus 0 plus 3 plus 8, 13. That's like her ultimate favorite number. So we were trying to dissect all that. Well, the Swifties did that for us. So you could look at the specific date they may tie the knot, but I do lean towards them having already done it.
It's just fascinating. I mean, Dane, correlating knots to tying the knot. This is
that's Swifty. That's Swifty.
It's all about how deep down the rabbit hole you want to go, Danny.
Right.
And listen,
I didn't have to. Trust me. The Swifties have like articles and articles of it. It's
far be it for me, because Steph has actually done her research and has all of this. But let me just piggyback on a couple of things she said, right? Once, I will tell you, as a man who did his own private ceremony on the beach in Negril, Jamaica, and then had a return big ceremony for the group a week later, which, by the way, was March 6th of 2020, right before COVID, but that's a different topic for a different day. I know that does, in fact, happen, right? And Steph said that she was a bridesmaid for some of the in-laws, not others. Yeah. But here's what I want to latch on to. She said for her actual siblings, she was the maid of honor. And she referenced the idea of
sisters. Yeah.
There you go. So she also referenced Jason Kelce himself. And here's the thing. I think maybe I'm getting too cute with this, but there's a groomsman market. And Jason Kelce is at 95 or 92% to be a groomsman.
He's going to be best
Here's
man.
What I'm going to say. The best man is not a groomsman. So if the Stephanie's point, it literally says it, Stephanie, in the the italics on the bottom of how this
you're going, but I would definitely
and Stephanie also said maybe there was a really small private family ceremony.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about. And it says it right there, something like it has to be listed on the program as such, or this, but in the wedding events, anytime, if there is documentation of Jason Kelce being the quote unquote best man and not being a quote unquote
the groom's party though,
groomsman, I think, listen, am I getting a little too cute? Maybe. Yeah. Could it be something that doesn't work out? Maybe.
You can change it. That'd be a fantastic play.
If what I'm seeing right now is the no on Jason Kelce is about 10 times your money, okay? Is going at something like 9 or 8% right now. All I'm saying is there is a path to the weird clarification of him not being a groomsman because he is the best man. And at about 10 times my money, I'd be willing to give it a shot.
Yeah. I would play it and then apologize later. You know what I mean? If they don't specify groomsman does not equal best man, there's not a play on best man, is there?
No, but usually, listen, the maid of honor and the bridesmaids are different. The best man and the groomsmen are different. You talk about all your wedding experience, Steph, and I'll defer to you. But in all the programs
I'm a maid of honor. I'm part of the bridesmaids.
Right. But I'm saying, when you look at a wedding, when you look at it says maid of honor, and then it's another section.
Let me ask you this. When there's a team captain on any sports team, are they part of the team?
Yes, but we'll see.
Yeah, they just have
flower girls and are different. Ring bearers are different. All I'm saying is at 5%, at over 10 or 11 times my money, I would give it a shot, just in case there's some interesting semantical ways you could win this trade.
Yeah, and to your point about eloping and then doing a bigger celebration,
the best man is technically a groomsman via just Google.
I don't care.
Right now.
I don't care what AI says. I care about the house rules.
Yeah, house rules. But to your point about eloping and smaller, and then I think she's invited 1,000 people, and so that tells me I think they probably did something more intimate. If she's being this generous with the invites, she said, she's not being a lot of weddings, they have to think, oh, do we bring this one? How close are you to them? Do they get a +1? She's been very generous in that regard. So that to me does lean more towards the celebration side of it. And I didn't see a play on that one, but that could kind of sway you from taking one if there isn't a wedding happening right now. But she's kind of made her career off of being, a girl's girl, relating to the masses. But what is so unrelatable of shutting down New York City streets to go to Madison Square Garden for your wedding? They're calling this the American Royal Wedding, which it kind of aligns towards that. There's live streams on large cable networks right now, just outside bringing attention. There's already security outside of Madison Square Garden. So I think that part of it, just her being friendly and the numbers that she's inviting, it's that leans towards celebration. But I did see that the invitations are very, very meticulous. They must have had like a former FBI agent create them, because they're all coded specifically to each individual. They're digitally done, and if it gets leaked, they can know exactly who did it. Yeah.
Interesting. Dang, you want to keep friends with the American royal family?
Yeah.
You better hold on to that invitation. Come on now. Jeez.
Yeah.
Going all out, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Hey, that's just how it goes sometimes here on the record. We talk about it all. We talk soccer, we talk weddings, and we talk Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Dane and Steph, one of the most exciting events of the year. Yes, believe it or not, for anybody outside of the United States, shoving glizzies and buns down your throat. It's a fun time for us Americans because you can trade on it. You're rooting for Joey Chestnut more often than not because, well, the man just simply delivers. And that's what's expected to happen yet again, trading at a 93% chance to win the Nathan's hot dog eating contest in the men's division. And then, you got other guys who are just there to have some fun. Really quick, I'll just ask, it's got to be Chestnut, right? 93%. We're not steering in any other direction. Or do you think it's going to be a one-off here? I mean, the guy's won the mustard yellow belt 17 times. Last year had 70 and a half. The record, he set it in 2021 at 76 hot dogs and buns. Anything you would do outside of Chestnut just being the outright winner?
Well, first of all, I think if you're, if you're hungover after a wedding, this is the perfect place to go the next day and get some hot dogs in, right? Like get that base going again after you party all night at Madison Square Garden with the new royal couple, as it were. But Danny, I remember a couple times ago when I was on this show, we talked about the guy who put $1 million on Spain versus Cape Verde. And we were talking about, would you ever blow the bankroll on something that is so big of a favorite, right? And on that show, I talked about how no, I would not. And that was less for the actual profitability and more for the PR and the likes and the follows and all that stuff, right? Here is a situation where you empty the bankroll. You take out a second mortgage and you put that one on Joey Chestnut as well. There are less variables here than Spain versus Cape Verde. I don't care if it only gets you 1.07 times your money. You go ahead and empty the chamber on Joey Chestnut. As you have said, something like 16 or 17 straight, looking to set the record. I would not bet him to break the record. His true height was a couple of years ago before there was the sponsorship deal and he wasn't there before. So I would not bet him to break the record. And as you see, kind of that's only trading at 13%. But yes, this is a situation where for minimal profit, you empty the chamber and back Joey Chestnut.
Yeah. Steph, anything different to add with the glizzy department here?
Yeah, don't ever go against the GOAT. He's had some Joey Chestnut's hilarious. We talked to him it was 2 years ago. He took 2024 off. So it must have been 3 years ago when we talked to him. His number declined that year, actually. It went 62. Was that the year when he had someone jump up on him and while he's competing is shoving him off? That was epic. How do you get more American than that? Just shove off the haggler mid-competition and you're just downing hot dogs. But I'm with you, the value isn't fantastic, but it's a shoo-in. He does not lose. Let's see here. He has 17 Nathan's hot dog eating contests, and he's also got over 55 major league eating world records. This guy does not lose. But if you want to look at the line, there could be some value. I like the line's about 70, but in this you can actually do halves. So the hook, actually consider that because they'll record 70 and a half hot dogs like he had last year. So just keep that in mind. A play that I do like is under. I don't like to do an under with Joey Chestnut because his over is hit a good amount of time.
That's
but,
the most American thing you could say. I don't like to do an under with Joey Chestnut. That's it right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Like you don't love that, but I'll give you some reasoning why. There's a lot of data backing it. Like you can go from biology. He's now in his early 40s, aging noticeably, and he's even commented about like the recovery window. He says that when he was younger, he could perform like these intense practice runs every 3 days. And then now his body requires 5 to 7 days to digest the massive amounts of food. So he's getting a little bit less practice rounds. And the heat can be a massive factor when you're looking at this. And tomorrow it's expecting to have over 101 degrees Fahrenheit because there might be some Euros out there listening.
The heat wave is real in the area. I could verify that.
So it's looking to be pretty spicy tomorrow at Coney Island, pushing the index to about 105 even around noon. And when it hit 95 degrees in 2010, that's even when he's younger to this point, he posted his lowest career championship total at just 54 with his hot dogs. The heat, what it does is it dries up all the buns. It instantly dries up the buns. So like that's why you see them soaking it in the water, but it destroys their ability to swallow it. So the heat directly can influence how this one's played. So I think the aging, the amount of practice runs, and then 105 degrees at noon when this is going down, and just what it does to the buns, I think that could lean towards an under. He wants to play that on the 4th of July for Joey Chestnut, but at about 50-50 at 70, it looks pretty good because if you also look at the amount he's had, so last year 70 and a half. So you maybe push if he doesn't get that last half in. He took 2024 off. That's something to note. And then 2023, just 62. It was delayed because of severe weather, but hey, 105 degrees might be severe weather. The years prior to that, he did have a 76 and 75 year, but then it was 70, 60, 69, 66. It's like going over 70 is kind of the outlier nowadays.
Look at this, Dane. Stephanie's just bringing the heat in all different categories.
Every single year I have to discuss the hot dog eating contest. So I literally recycle my notes, and I'm like, okay, let's see how it changed over the years.
I love it.
She's right that she's not going to be at his exact height because, like you mentioned, the age factor. One thing I would note, though, is the 2024, he didn't take it off. He was not allowed to compete because he actually had
because of like the vegetarian one or something like that. Yeah, he did a
deal with some kind of like vegetarian, organic.
Right, it was like NIL type of thing.
And Nathan was like, nah, you can't be here. And then he finally came back. So
there's no way Joey Chestnut
wasn't allowed
chose not to play.
Yeah, but I'm with Steph in terms of I don't think he's going to reach his absolute height because I hate to say this, but yes, there may be some evidence of him on the decline. You talk about the age. I think the weather factor is interesting as well. But the real thing is empty the chamber. He's still going to win the event.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the value, though, and you can also tie into motivation. We talked about all of the titles he has. What motivation is there to go higher? You can maybe do that like on other years, but given the weather for this one, why push it? Just win the thing, Keep the winning streak going. Looking at the numbers he's had over the years, I don't think there was a push to go higher. I mean, I think it's just once he's like on the verge of winning, I think like maybe it's been – depending how you feel. But I think that under is good here for around 70 because I would say from 2005, I'm looking at like ones of note, like the over 70 is like kind of like an outlier.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, look, we all love taking overs. We all love trading overs, sweating out a lot of action, especially when it comes to the 4th of July and especially when it's Joey Chestnut. But the heat is a major factor. Age, I mean, Stephanie, you nailed it with your analysis. And clearly to keep up that sustainability it feels impossible in general, let alone with all the other ramifications being put into it. So I think I'm with the guys. The no is probably the way to go about it on the 70 plus, but who knows if we'll actually trade it, because of course we want to root for some of that action. But either way, you have the option offered to you at Kelshi, Polymarket, and these prediction platforms for whatever you want to do with the 4th of July and Nathan's hot dog eating contest. That is Dane Martinez. She is Stephanie Odie at Steph Odie, where you can follow her on X at Spittin' Speeds on X for Dane, who will, of course, make sure you follow him because he's got the content live from the American Royal Wedding, because he is in attendance, of course. He's not dishing out the invitation because then he will get canceled by Swift and Kelsey. So don't even bother asking him for it, but make sure to follow him along for his updates. Appreciate you both as always. Great stuff per usual. And appreciate everybody tuning in to the program on the record, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, X, whatever it may be. We appreciate you. But make sure you also check out the website, www.calledit.media. Enter your email, you sign up, it's completely free, and there you can get the full in-depth analysis of the daily call in your email inbox immediately before we even get on the show here, so you can get the best of the number, and you can get updates on our challenge, The Run, where we look to take $250 and flip it all the way to $1 million. The pot is $3,200. It's trade number 5, and the call is on Brazil and Norway, both teams to score this Sunday. So we'll have a recap of all of that on Monday. Until then, enjoy the holiday. Best of luck with all your trades, and we will see you on the record.